Barnaby, a small brown puppy, woke up shivering in tall, unfamiliar grass. The blades tickled his nose, and the cool morning dew clung to his fur, making him feel even smaller and more alone than ever before. The world smelled strange. No warm bed, no mother, no Leo. Every scent was new and confusing, and the gentle rustle of the wind in the grass sounded much louder without the comfort of his family nearby. Alone, fear crept into his heart. He looked around, hoping to spot a familiar face, but all he saw was endless green stretching in every direction. He whimpered, missing his family and the comfort of home. The memory of his mother's warm fur and Leo's gentle voice made his heart ache. He remembered chasing a butterfly, tumbling down a hill, and suddenly everything was different. One moment he was playing, the next he was lost, and the world felt so much bigger than before. The sunrise brought no comfort, just loneliness and the vast, scary world. The golden light only made the shadows seem deeper, and Barnaby felt very small. His tummy rumbled, and he wondered how he'd ever find his way back. He missed breakfast, and the thought of food made him feel even more lost. But Barnaby remembered Leo calling him a brave explorer. Leo always said he was curious and clever, and that explorers never gave up, even when things seemed scary. He took a shaky breath, determined not to give up. He tried to remember all the things Leo had taught him about being brave and strong. He stood, lifted his head, and promised himself he'd find his way home. No matter how frightened he felt, he would keep going. With each small step, his adventure began. Not with a bark, but with courage he didn't know he had. Every paw print in the dew was a promise to himself to keep moving forward. The world was big, but Barnaby was ready to face it. He knew the journey would be hard, but he was determined to try. He would find his family, no matter what. Each step brought him closer to home, and to the ones he loved most. This was his first test of bravery, and Barnaby was ready to prove that even the smallest puppy could have the biggest heart. As Barnaby wandered, a robin with a red chest chirped from a branch above. The bird's song was friendly, and Barnaby wagged his tail, feeling hope for the first time. The robin flew ahead, pausing and waiting, inviting Barnaby to follow. Barnaby understood he had a guide. The robin led him out of the tall grass and onto a dirt path. The path felt safer, and Barnaby's fear faded. The robin's kindness showed him that friends can come in all shapes and sizes. At the edge of a village, the robin sang a final song and soared away. Barnaby watched, grateful for his first friend. He wasn't alone anymore. He had hope and a path to follow. The journey continued, with friendship lighting the way. The dirt path ended abruptly at a roaring road, its surface shimmering in the midday sun. The peaceful quiet of the countryside was shattered by the thunder of engines and the blaring of horns. The street was alive with speeding cars and trucks, each one rushing past in a blur, making the ground tremble beneath Barnaby's paws. Barnaby froze, his heart pounding in his chest, terrified by the noise and danger that seemed to stretch endlessly before him. He watched the endless stream of vehicles, unsure how to cross, feeling very small and alone on the edge of the bustling city. Then, out of the corner of his eye, he noticed a group of children waiting patiently by a pole with red and green lights, their mother holding their hands. When the light turned red, the cars screeched to a halt, and the family crossed the street safely, chatting and laughing as they went. Barnaby realized the lights controlled the metal beasts, making them stop and go with just a change of color. He waited, heart pounding, watching the lights carefully, determined to be brave and do as the children had done. Summoning every ounce of courage, he dashed across the crosswalk when the light turned red again, his paws flying over the painted stripes. He reached the other side just as the cars roared back to life, feeling the rush of wind as they sped away behind him. Pride and relief washed over him. He had faced his fear and won, proving to himself that he was braver than he ever imagined. Barnaby learned that even the scariest obstacles can be overcome with patience, observation, and a little bit of courage. He stood a little taller, his tail wagging with newfound confidence, knowing he could handle whatever came next. The road was behind him now, and his journey pressed on, each step filled with hope and determination. Each challenge made him stronger, teaching him lessons he would carry for the rest of his adventure. With every brave step, Barnaby was one step closer to home, and to discovering just how courageous he could truly be. In the town square, the smell of fresh bread led Barnaby to a bakery. He sat by the door, hungry and hopeful. The kind baker, Mr. Giles, noticed the little puppy and offered him a warm piece of bread. Barnaby wagged his tail, grateful for the kindness. The bread was delicious, filling his empty stomach and lifting his spirits. Mr. Giles smiled, wishing Barnaby luck on his journey. Barnaby learned that strangers could be kind, and small gestures could mean everything. With renewed strength, he licked the baker's hand in thanks. The world felt a little less scary. Acts of kindness gave him hope. Barnaby continued on, heart and belly full. He was ready for whatever came next. The journey home was calling. Energized, Barnaby explored the town, sniffing every scent. Suddenly, he caught a faint, familiar smell. Leo. Excitement surged as he followed the invisible trail, nose to the ground. Sometimes he lost it, but determination kept him searching. The scent led him past parks and houses, growing stronger with every step. He ignored distractions, focused only on Leo's scent. Tired but hopeful, he pressed on, dreaming of a reunion. The trail brought him to a street that looked just like home. He saw the blue house, the white fence, the big oak tree. His heart raced. He was so close. The familiar smells wrapped around him like a hug. He broke into a run, joy bubbling inside. Home was within reach. As Barnaby turned onto his street, night fell and shadows grew long. Familiar shapes looked strange and scary in the dark. Doubt crept in. Was this really home? Exhausted, he almost gave in to fear. But he remembered the robin, the baker, and his own bravery. He couldn't quit now. Focusing on the scent of home, he pushed past the shadows. The smell of family grew stronger, guiding him forward. He ran past houses until he saw it, a blue house with a red door and a warm light. Relief and joy flooded him. He had made it through the longest night. Home was finally in sight. Barnaby raced to the red door, barking with all his might, his little paws thumping against the porch as he called out for his family. The night air was cool, but his heart was warm with hope and excitement. Inside, voices called his name. Leo's voice rang out, filled with longing and joy, echoing through the hallway. The family rushed to the door, hearts pounding, hoping their beloved Barnaby had truly come home. The door flew open, and Leo scooped Barnaby into his arms, tears turning to laughter as relief washed over them both. It was a moment of pure happiness, a reunion they'd dreamed of since Barnaby went missing. The family gathered, hugging and petting him, their relief overwhelming. Each touch was a promise. Barnaby was safe, and their circle was whole again. Barnaby licked Leo's face, tail wagging furiously, as if to say, "I missed you too." Leo giggled, wiping away happy tears, and the room filled with laughter and love. That night, he slept in Leo's bed, surrounded by love and warmth. The soft blankets and gentle breathing of his best friend made Barnaby feel safe and cherished. As he drifted off, Barnaby thought of his adventure, the friends he'd made, the fears he'd faced, and the courage he'd found deep inside himself. Every moment away had taught him something new. He realized home was more than a place. It was the feeling of being loved and missed, of belonging to a family who cared for him no matter what. That feeling was stronger than any fear he'd known. Barnaby was no longer just a lost puppy. He was a cherished member of the family, his collar shining with pride and his heart full of gratitude. He was Barnaby the brave, the explorer who found his way home, and who discovered that true bravery is returning to those who love you. The lessons of courage, kindness and love would stay with him forever, shaping every wag of his tail and every joyful bark. As he drifted to sleep, he knew he was exactly where he belonged, wrapped in the warmth of his family's love, his journey complete. His journey was over, but his heart was full, and his story of love and courage was just beginning.